So let's start here. What is A? A is what? 1. B is what? And C is? So A is more than 1 or less? Sorry, A is more than 0 or less than 0? More than, so therefore is up. What type? A minimum, right? A is more than 0. Next. What we do after this? We find H and K. Well, let's just zoom up. We'll look back at these steps. Right? Look back at the steps. So you know what we're doing, right? Find H and K. After we find H and K, we can figure out the turning point. And then we have to find where it cuts the Y and where it cuts the X axis. Once we have all these things, we can go ahead and plot. Right. Let's find H. H is what? B over 2A. B is 0, A is 1. So the answer is 0. Right? That's the formula for H all the time. We have B, we have A. You okay with that? Yeah? Well, okay with that, right? The formula for K is what? C minus A H squared. So I'm plugging in C, I'm plugging in A, and I put in H, this is H, and I go and square it. When I work this out, I will also get 0. All right? Let's find the turning point again. Minus HT. Right? So that'll be 0, 0. Right? What is the y-intercept, Javi? The y-intercept is always what?
Y is the AX here.
No, the y. Where does it cut the y-axis? Always that what? Here, always that. Second C, the back and C. This is the last thing we did last week. It cuts the y-axis at 0. 0 what? 0 C, right? It cuts the y-axis at 0 C. Did you have from last week? Check back from last week. Right, 0 C, right? It always cuts the y-axis at 0 C. C in this question is what? C in this question is 0. And last part, how do we find where it cuts the x-axis? We have to solve x squared equal to 0. Can you get solved on top of your head? Rounding up, x squared equals to 0 is what? What value squared will give you 0? What value squared will give you 0? 0, right? So the answer is x is 0. So once you have all those things, we could go right ahead and plot. Watch this here. This one's straightforward because the turning point is 0, 0. It cuts the y-axis at 0, and it cuts the x-axis at 0. Everything right there. So the graph will look like this. All the points right there. Right? Every single point right there. So that is the equation for y is x squared. This is like, this equation is what the general quadratic looks like. Every other quadratic kind of comes from this by shifting it or flipping it over. All right. So in short, what you have to remember is how to get ABC, how to determine if it's minimum, how to find H and K, turning point, and how to get these things. Once you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can sketch it. Copy it down. Let's do our next one. Copy it down. See if we can do the first few steps. If you can't remember what to solve the x-axis, I'll help you. So anytime somebody says catch y is equal to x squared, that's what you have to look at. catches here. Y is equal to 5x minus 3x minus 2. Follow all the steps here, right? What's the first thing you have to write, Mari? What's the first thing you need? I didn't answer that, Mari. What's the first thing you need after you write quadratic? Look at the example. What's the first thing you need? Huh? What's the first thing you need? Look at the example. What's the first thing we need, Kieran? A, B, and C, right? We need A, B, and C, and then you can use that, then you can figure out the other things. I know they first class, right? You're getting all right, so that's me. That's not right now. All right, so A is what? What's here? A is the value in front here. Sorry, what's your name? Nathan Flowey. Who Nathan? Your name is Nathan as well, right? Right? So watch here, right? A is the value in front of x squared. B is the value and the sign in front of x. And the C is the constant. Minus. That is it. Yeah, Nathan's. All okay. So A, B, C. All okay with that, right? Then all we have to do now is if A is bigger than 0, if it's greater than 0, it's a minimum. So it's shaped like this, right? If by chance A was less than 0, it's shaped like that, upside down, right? So that's step 1 and 2. Step 3, we had to find H. So just plug in those things into that formula. Plug in those things into that formula, right? Once you figure out H and K, you take in the answers and put it in here, right? And then the y-axis is always going to be 0 and your C value, right? And then this, you have to solve the quadratic, make it equal to 0 and solve it, right? Use a calculator. I'll show you how to use the calculator. Yeah. Go ahead. So for the time, at least up until here, I will do this back for you to carry out to do it. But try to follow the formulas and figure out up until here. Right? If you can put it all together in a sketch, right ahead. If you're confused, hold on. Right, and then do the sketch. It was a minimum, right? That's the formula. Right, online if you sketch it, you can take a pick and stand it from up. Right, 1 minute again, we'll remove sharp. That's the way it comes, right? Right, let's see what they came up with. H is B over 2A, which is minus 3 over 2 by 5, which is minus 3 times. Everybody okay with that? Right now, you want to find K. K is equal to C minus AH squared. C is minus 2. A is 5. And each, you have to put in this value here. That's minus 3 on 10 squared. So that'll be minus 2 minus 5. When I square this, I'll get 9 on 100. Right? 5 into 100, that's 20. So when you work this out, you can put it in the calculator if you want, but when you work this out, you'll get minus 2 and 9 over 20. So got that? Oh, look at this. Nice. So now, what is the turning point? The turning point is always what? Minus HP. Right? So the turning point, H is minus 3 on 10. So the turning point is positive 3 on 10. Right? And K is what? K is this value here. So you're writing minus 2 and 9 on 20. Everybody okay with that? Are you okay with that? H and K? Everybody okay with that? Next on. Next part is to find the where it cuts the y-axis. Right? So it cuts the y-axis at 0, C. So writing what is C. That's okay? And last part, where it cuts the x-axis, you take the quadratic, which is 5x squared minus 3x minus 2, and you solve it in the calculator. And you'll get x's 1 and what? Minus 0.4. Yeah? Taylor? You okay with all this? Taylor, you okay with all this, right? Now, what's your earlier? Before I sketch it, any questions anywhere? This one's on the calculator. I'll come and show you this now, right? You just put this in the calculator and it will solve it for you. Right? I'll show you that now. Everybody okay with these steps here? Are you sure? Yeah? Right. What you say? Everybody watch here. It's a sketch, right? So we know this shape is a minimum. So the first thing we do is we plug the x, where it cuts the x. So it cuts it at 1. You don't have to do a scale, right? You just average it. Cuts it at 1 and minus 0.4. So somewhere here we average in where minus 0.4 is. Are you okay with that? So those are the first two things, right? Watch here. Follow me. Watch here. Right? So after you do these two, we come in here. It cuts the y-axis at minus 2. So we're going to average minus 1, minus 2. It's a sketch, so you don't have to be perfect. Right? But just put them in the right place, right? Cuts the x-axis, cuts the y-axis. So I plug this. So my last thing is the turning point. 3 on 10, somewhere here. Minus 2 on 9/10, somewhere here. So that point is 3 on 10 minus 2 and 9/20. Watch it again. I plot 1 minus 0.4. Right? That's my first 2 points. Then I plot 0 minus 2. Then I plot this. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 points. All I have to do now is connect it up. And you're done. That's okay? Plot it in that exact order, where it cuts the x, where it cuts the y, and the turning point. Then connect it up. You okay with that? After a while, you will learn to put in the shape and then put in the points after. But for now, do it like that. Come here. You okay with that? Yeah. Right? What is it? We have to do. We have to do and do it. Yes. Yes, that's good. Yeah, my advice here is about calculating with advanced, right? One like that, right? Right, one like that. Right. Any issues online? Yeah. Okay with that? Latif, you're okay with this? Alright, so I'm gonna give you one of those different now. All these were minimums. Watch this one, right? Okay. Okay with it. Again, follow all the same steps, right? I just leaving this here because it's the same thing over and over. Right, I'm gonna give you one that should solve minus 4x squared. Try that in. Take your time, right? Follow through the steps and catch this one. Sharina again, sure. Sharina again, sure. Alright. Take a look, click and send it to me, right? Well, what type of quadratic we have here? A maximum, right? Which shape the other way. We're watching that. We're watching. Good question. I trying to do the whole thing, right, all the way down to the sketch. Fine, that's cool. It's nice. But that's it. We're seeing that. Oh, no, that was like, oh my, it's cool. Right? Also, everywhere but you do. Right? Right? Same thing. Where is good? Where is good? Somewhere. That should be the answer. And then you get the key, and then you just gotta find the wire. Where it cuts the wire. Oh. Remember, it should be shaped upside down, eh? Not like these, it should be upside down. Last 2 minutes, and I will take a look at it. Don't forget to send it values, right, earlier? I mean, send the whole graph, right? That was great. Don't multiply by 8. This first, and this one. See. And then see how it went? Yes. Right, so A is -4, B is 2, C is 2. All right, now H is B on 2A, so that's 2 over 2 by -4, that'll give us -1/4. All right, 2 will cancel off, right? Now you have C, which is 2, A, which is -4, right? And then we have H, which is -1/4 squared, right? When you're working this out, -1/4 squared is what? Is 1/16, right? So you multiply 4 into 16 here, you'll get 4. So you'll get 2 minus -1/4. Right? Watch it again. -1/4 squared is 1/16. -4 by 1/16 is -1/4. Minus and a minus plus. So we'll end up with 2 1/4 as our K value. That's okay? See that? So you're plugging in this value here. Okay? When you get to K value now, when you get to K value, your formula is -H. -H, so it's minus and a minus a plus. So that's plus 1/4. And K is 2 1/4. All right? So we have H and we have K. Cut the y-axis at 0C. So that's 0, 2. Yeah? Yeah. That's 0C. And then cut the x-axis at -4x squared plus 2x plus 2 is equal to 0. Right? So I have to solve this equal to 0. What's that? What we got here? X is what? 1 minus a half. Now for the fun part, right? Now we do the plots. Okay? First thing first, 1 minus a half. 1 is here, minus a half is here. Next, cut the y-axis, 0, 2. So 1, 2, I'll average 2 to be about there. Right? So I have 1, 2, 3 so far. And then I want the turning point, which is 1/4, 2 1/4. 1/4 is about here, 2 1/4 is here. Right? So I have turning point, cut the y, cut the x. What do I do now? Connect it up. That's okay? Right? So that is how you sketch a contract. Everybody okay with that? So we're going to focus on something a little different. Copy it out. Karina, Shreya, you all got that? Yes. All right, so these are the things. Anybody remember how to get the maximum value? I gave you that last week. What is the maximum value of that quadratic? K. The maximum value is K. So in this question is 2 1/4. What's the graph? Is the graph going beyond 2 1/4? No. The value not passing 2 1/4. All right. All right. So today we want to talk about, so this was just finishing up from last week, right? Today we want to talk about something that happened in here. Right? whenever you solve it, you all think you're always going to get two answers. Sometimes you'll get one, sometimes you will get no answers. No, I get three in this one. All right. So I want you to head up for me something new called discriminant. All right. Head up the discriminant. All right. So watch this here. Whenever we solve this, what we find in again? The last thing that we did, when we solve ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, we were actually solving what? Roots, right? But something else. The next one. When we solved this in the last example, we got which values? These two, this or this. Whenever we solve the quadratic, what we got all the time. And we got these two values. And so whenever we solve this, we really finding where it cuts the x-axis. That's okay? So whenever you solve it, you could get two solutions. You could get one solution or you could get no solution. All right? If you get two solutions, most times it might look like this. Cuts the x-axis twice. That's okay? I'll look at that. Suppose it was one solution. How will it look? Yeah. How will it look? Still a quadratic. How it will look? Still up. How it might look? It can only touch the x-axis how much times? Once. Anyone want to guess what it might look like? Huh? Yeah, you're getting there. Close it could be on either side. Straight line node, remember it's a quadratic and it always shaped like this. Any other guess? Well, I could use what you said, right? With combination and portfolio. It might look something like this. How much times it cuts in there? Once. So the turning point is where it cuts the x-axis. That's okay? So here it cuts in two times, so I get two solutions. Here it cuts in once, so I have one solution. And the last option is what again? The last option is no solution. How will that look? How it will look? It wouldn't touch the, which one? X-axis. So it will not touch the x-axis. So those are the three options, right? The three options, two solutions, one solution, no solution. Okay? Two will look like this, one will look like this, none will look like this. All right? But now we had to figure out now how we will know. There must be a way for us to figure that out. Right? Copy that up. Copy it up. Right. So here's the problem. The problem is we don't want to have to solve a quadratic all the time to figure out if it have 2, 1, or no solutions. We can't do that all the time. Right? Must have a shortcut. Anybody remember what plus and minuses do? What does plus and minus do? Anybody remember what it does? When they're working this out, right? We do the plus, right? You now they get 2 solutions, right? So if we get a value here, and we work it out with the plus and we work it out with the minus. Remember that last week? We did that last week? Right. So I have a question, right? What do you think will control if we get 2 answers? When we solve that, 1 answer or no answer? What do you think will kind of a hard question, right? But in this, what controls if I get 2 solutions, 1 solution, or no solution? What do you think? In this here. Yeah?
Sine square.
Number inside the square root sign. Because think about it. If b squared minus 4ac was 0, how much answers you'll end up with? If this was 0, and you will get minus b plus 0, minus b minus 0, how much values is that? Same value, right? Correct? Suppose this value was less than 0. Let's check in the calculator. Square root of minus 5. What you would get? Square root of minus 5. Anything? No solution, right? That's okay? Yep, Masera. So it means that b squared minus, it means that b squared minus 4ac controls how much solutions you get. That's okay? So when would you get no solutions? When would you get no solutions? When what? Equals 0? Less than 0, right? So you would get no solutions when b squared minus 4ac is less than 0. That's okay? When would you get 1 solution? When b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0. When would you get 2 solutions, Harvey? When would you get 2 solutions? Very good. Right? So once you work out this scalar, you can figure out how much solutions you have. Okay? So once you work out this, and you see where it comes from right here, right? So this controls how much solutions you get. Right? Very good, Taylor. So this is called your discriminant. All right. Some books you would see they have minus b plus or minus the square root of capital D. Right? Because they replace this with capital D sometimes. Okay. So all we have to do is take a quadratic, and if this value is more than 0, we know how much solutions. Less than 0, we know how much solution. Equal to 0, we know how much solution. All right? Are you okay online? Yeah. So all I wanted to do here from her is to determine the number of solutions. Right? And now I want to talk a little bit more specific about the solutions, right? Actually, before I give it that. Huh? Yeah, leave. All right. All right. So what you say? I'm gonna point out something here. Here we have two, we call it real solutions. Because you're gonna get actual value, right? Here you have one solution, or sometimes we could say, let's put one real solution, right? Here is no solution. So just adding the words real, right? Adding the words real. It's creating distinct here and equal as well. Some books, instead of solutions, they have roots. Right? So put distinct roots here, equal roots here, but no real roots here. Right? So solutions and roots mean the same thing. All right? Yeah, it's up. Copy it down. Copy it down, and then I'll give you one to try. Yeah, copy down, pass it down. Finish? Right. Since Nathan finished, Nathan will come and do this one first. Right? All I want to know is the number of solutions, right? Remember, sometimes they would say, instead of the word solution, they use the word roots, right? So how many solutions we get in here? How many solutions we get in here? Work it out. Write down A, B, C, and work out this. So you have to write down A, you have to write down B, and you have to write down C. Right? When you do that, work out this. Write down what A, B, and C, and then work out this. Okay? All right. B squared minus 4AC. All right. Hurry up. I'm telling you. Yeah, I got you. So B is 2, A is 3, C is 5. So that's 2 squared minus 4 by A by C. So that's 4 minus what? 60. So you get minus 56. Yeah? That is what? Less than 0, right? That's less than 0. So therefore, no real roots. Right? No real. For those who are online, you mightn't see here, right? But I just write in no real roots or no real solution. All right. When you okay with that? It's easy, right? The next one up, please. Oh yeah. Now you know this already. Oh yeah. Right, one more we done, right? But I got me good. Finish? How much you got? Huh? Check mark this up. So what I mean? What does that mean, Ethan? What does that mean if you get 0? No, you sure? Yeah, but you ain't notes again. I'm sure again. How much you got? 0? What does that mean? 1, right? So A is 1, sorry, A is 1, B is minus 4, C is 4. So when you work out B squared minus 4AC, you're going to get minus 4 squared minus 4AC, which is 0. So therefore, you will have one real root, right? Or 2 equal roots means you're getting the same thing, right? So one real root, okay? So one real root, one real solution. Okay with that? Yeah? Everybody okay with that? I just want to change it, right? Admas wouldn't give it that easy thing. Here's what Admas will see. Admas will say something like this. So Mr. Admas, he will come and say, well, if x squared, let me see, let me make up a nice one. X squared minus ax plus 9 equal to 0. X squared minus ax plus 9. One line, you're okay here, right? All right, nice. If x squared minus ax plus 9 equal to 0 has one real root, find e. How are you going to do that? Is a e, right? Right? X squared minus ax plus 9 equal to 0 has one real root. Find. What are you going to do? So now they're giving you in reverse, they're telling you how much roots it have. So you are to work backwards now, giving you a minute. So you got to work, I think a little bit different. But you already know what it represents, right? Right, online, you're not sending many answers that. I just get yes and no. I just get yes and no and yes, right? Three up, but is three now, some answers, right? Somebody else online there. All right, okay. Take your time. If you think you have the answer, form up. So whenever you're doing a question, right? Within the question, there's information that you could use. Number one, you have passed some information here, right? So write that down. Write down x squared minus ax plus 9 is 0. So you could write down where's a, you could write down where's b, and you could write down where's c. Correct? What has it told you? It has one real root, right? What does one real root mean? What does that mean? It means that b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0. So in an exam, this is what I will do. I will write down what they give me to work with, and then find a way to merge them together. Okay? So I know b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, and I know I can get a, b, and c here. So a is how much? A is 1, b is what? Small a, sorry, minus small a, yeah? Minus small a, and c is what? C is 9. Right? What can I do now to link both of them? You know? What can I do now to link these two things? Substitute, right? So I could put b squared as minus a squared. I could put a as 1. And I could put c as 9. Right? Right? So you see how it's able to merge both things? I wrote down what the question gave me, and now I take this and I merge it in there. And what I'm going to do now? Solve for a. Minus a squared is a squared. 4 by 9 is 36. Carry across 36, and I'll get a squared is equal to 36. A is the square root of 36, and the answer is what? Plus and minus 6. Okay, so the answer there is plus and minus 6. So you see how easy they could take something simple and switch it around, right? But what you have to learn to do is this: extract the info that they give you. Okay, when you read it, underline, and then put them together. All right, this killing ADMAS is being able to work these things out. So when you see reasoning, like in a grade profile, reasoning has to do with your ability to take this and put it in there. All right? So that's what I wanted to work on. Right? You're going to be added to the LMS this week, right? First piece of homework will be there. All right? But I want to make sure everybody gets added first before I get the answer. Right? Okay, yeah, we'll stop there. All right? So copy that down and that's it there.